All right, folks, welcome back to the Fight Channel. Today, we're going to discuss our three favorite fighters. I'm Raz.
I'm Habib.
And I'm Dil. Today, we'll be discussing our personal top three best boxers of all time. Who is the greatest? Who is the best boxer? Simply yet an intriguing question. This has been brought about the most asked question in almost every field, and when it comes to boxing, it's no different. We're going to be discussing our personal favorites, and we're going to dive slightly into their career and even their records. And of course, this discussion is open. Raz, who are your top three favorite boxers? And give us a little description on why.
All right, so my one is really, really tough because I've got so many I like, but I'm gonna go with Mike Tyson definitely, because the most brutal, ruthless boxer ever, in my opinion. In his prime, he's just a beast. I don't think anyone can beat that guy in his prime, in heavyweight. And my second one, Manny Paquiao, because come on, man, 8 division world champion, come from nothing, blistering hand speed and power with it. He just, what can you say? Just a warrior. And my third one is my personal best is Miguel Cotto. A lot of people probably say, man, there's so many more fighters than Miguel Cotto, but it's just my personal preference. I love his style. I love the way he fights, he boxes. And when he was at 140 pounds, absolute monster. Oh, absolute monster. He would destroy these 140 pounds now if he was in their time now. His body liver shot was just relentless. So that's my three.
What about you, Habib?
For me, I think the greatest fighter is going to be Muhammad Ali, right? It's because of all the challenges he's had to overcome in terms of his boxing style. He, in the span of 5 years, from 1970 to 75, I think he did like 22 fights. Compared to like Mayweather, in the span of 5 years, he did 5 fights. There was another boxer, I can't remember his name, but did 9 fights or 11 fights within that space. So he was active.
They were a totally different breed back then.
Yeah.
Man, they used to fight all the time.
Yeah, the way that's what I'm talking about. And in terms of him, he was a heavyweight boxer, right? And he came in with speed. He was the fastest heavyweight of all time in terms of how he was, and he actually redefined the way people used to see athleticism, right? And how they thought big people and how they could move, because he was quick on his feet. So that's another reason. And as much as people used to think like he's fast and he can move, and they used to think if he gets hit, he's gonna fold in half, isn't it? Well, he showed in his kind of trilogy with what's his name, Joe Frazier, right? Where he got hit heavy, even with Nelson. I think Nelson, he had a tough battle, and he took a lot of blows. Look at what George Foreman and his fight was like. He took blow after blow after blow, and in fact, it shows his intelligence as well. Because everyone was scared of George Foreman, getting in there, and they said that George Foreman was going to take him down, right? And what did he do? He came in there, and then did something different. He started playing on the ropes, and he actually started off like rope fighting George Foreman, letting him actually tire himself out into the fight, and then tire himself out until he took him down, knocked him down.
It's called the rope-a-dope.
Yeah. But after that, because people never seen that before, so he was.
It was nuts. It was nuts, that fight.
Yeah.
It was his charisma.
Is that all you got, George?
Yeah.
You punch like a sissy.
He'd be talking to them throughout the whole fight.
The whole fight.
The charisma, the build-up, everything. Yeah, no matter what, he's one of the greatest. He is one of the greatest, hands down.
Definitely. That's why it's hard for me to pick, man. Really, but
it's hard.
I just went with my favorite, like latest sort of favorite ones I went with. Well, I see most of in my time. But obviously, if I look back, then yeah, man, these guys are different.
I would agree with you about Tyson too, on the other hand, because Tyson's a beast. Like,
Yeah.
It's the same time. While I was growing up watching Ali, I was watching Tyson. And Tyson's just an animal. And I like that style of fighting. Do you know that full...
That's exciting, isn't it? It's exciting.
But Ali wins because of his poetry, because of his charisma outside the ring and inside the ring. For me, anyway. What about you, Dil?
Me, I've got 3 fighters that two of them you guys already know. Like Raz knows Mike Tyson straight off the bat.
Everyone loves Mike Tyson.
Is known as one of the greatest heavyweight boxers of all time, undisputed world heavyweight champion from 1987 to 1990. And this because of his ferocious fighting style and intimidating boxing style that he had. He had his opponents defeated even before he stepped into the ring, through the promotional press tour and everything, through the conferences. He'd just be sitting there and that's it. You just instantly knew. As soon as the guy came onto the podium, he's getting beat.
Yeah, he's done. He's done, innit?
He's done. It was the fear that finished him. He had 50 wins, 44 by KO, and 6 losses, and 2 no contests. Obviously, you know which 2 no contests he had. One was for the famous bite on the ear of...
they're friends now, aren't they?
They're friends. They're selling edibles. Ear edibles
crazy.
Are selling, My other one is obviously Manny Pacquiao, bros. I can't say no to Manny Pacquiao. He is, no matter what one of the greatest, current that is, living.
He's
still
one
of the greatest.
Living legend, isn't it?
You can't, you know what? And I believe Mayweather can't even touch him. I'll tell you the record why. He's the only 8 division world champion in history of boxing. In the history of boxing, that tells you a lot. He holds 12 major world titles under his name. He's also the oldest welterweight world champion in history. When's the last time a Mayweather won anything?
But Mayweather's a prize fighter, isn't it? He don't really. Once he'd done his thing, he didn't care about belts. He just want money.
You know about the lineal championship, He holds 5. He holds 5 in different weight classes.
No doubt, he's a legend, man.
That guy's that's why I don't rate thingy, because Manny Pacquiao took on everybody and anybody. The guy, he had 62 wins, 39 by KO, 7 losses, and 2 draws.
And still,
that tells you
he's like
62 wins over Mayweather's 52, 53 fighting YouTubers. Which and he still claims to be the greatest. My third one is, I don't know whether you heard, I know Raz might have, it's Robert Duran.
Of course, man, he's a legend. That's
why
they used to call him free, man.
They called him Manos de
Piedra.
They called him Manos de Piedra, the hands of stone.
I've got the book right here.
You got the book? I watched it. You know how I got hooked onto him? Why I ended up becoming his fan? After I watched his Hands of Stone, the movie with Edgar Ramirez and Usher. And then I started just reading up on him. I started watching his boxing fights, and then I was like, wow, this guy is absolute legend, bro. Absolute legend.
It's fighting
One
stuff,
thing,
nuts.
he used to keep coming forward, aggressive. And one thing why I chose these 3 fighters, Mike Tyson, Manny Pacquiao, and Robert Duran, they all came from poverty.
They came from nothing.
All 3 of them came from nothing. When I say nothing, I mean nothing. It's pure poverty they came from. By chance, they got this opportunity and they took off, with their hands, basically.
Manny Pacquiao used to sleep on the floor like in the gym and eat one bowl of rice a day. That's it. And he used to share that with one of his mates.
They need to struggle.
Just to like train, just so he can train. make something of himself. That's crazy, man. That's
Yeah.
what you call tough
Now,
guy.
let me tell you about a statistic. How can you not say that Roberto Duran was one of the legends? Yeah, like he's one of the top boxers of all time. He had 103 wins.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
103 wins with 70 KOs, 16 losses. Yeah? And he got titles in 4 different weight classes during his career.
Yeah.
Bro, is there anything else that I need to say?
I think with today as well, we noticed these days, like, did you see the record you just said? It's so many losses. Manny Pacquiao, 7 losses.
Yeah.
You know, these legendary fighters, Muhammad Ali got so many losses. But look how we remember them. They're legends. But look at this day and age. This zero is everything now.
Means you're
They can't lose one fight. So this is what's the problem now. They have to keep that 0, so they cherry pick so they don't lose. Whereas before, they didn't care, man. They were like, what? This guy thinks he can beat me? Nah, I want to fight him. Him next. I want to take him out. This is my division. These are my belts. I'm going to hold it down.
Right. Yeah,
and now it's like,
right.
no, wait, how much money am I getting? no, ain't enough. Maybe in about 5 fights later, yeah. When this guy gets about 5 years older, I'll fight him. Yeah, not right now.
Back then, they never ducked it. They never ducked a fight.
Yeah. Now it's all
everybody fought everybody in that division.
The old
they were out for it. They just want to fight.
Back then, look at Marvin Hagler, Duran and Leonard Hearns. Those 4 were like the Fantastic 4, man.
Yeah.
They used to go at it, and you see the best fights you ever seen in your life. They used to go at it like proper. And it didn't matter they lost against each other here and there. They just, because it was so exciting to watch.
They left everything in the ring as
they
well.
put everything on the line. They you don't care about losses. You just enjoy watching these best top guys go at it. And now these guys are like crying over,
it's money making machine.
I want to be the first one to walk out the ring. Oh no, I want more. I want 55% instead of 50.
60%.
Yeah, I want 60%.
I'm the bigger
and
fight.
I want a rematch clause 3 times. All this nonsense, man. This is why the new era, they're not going to have many legends, in my opinion. Not like the old school. They're all good fighters, though. Don't get me wrong, great fighters, but they're not hungry and they ain't got the mindset like the old school.
What was your third fight? Who was your third fighter, Habib?
Yeah, I was about to say that, like, because you said, what's it called? Look.
It says Sugar Ray Leonard, didn't it?
Yeah, look at the type of fighters we've got now. 49-0. The 0 means something. Man. Look at Sugar Ray Leonard. Like he did.
Yeah.
What was his thing when I checked it? It was 174 to 19 to 6. Yeah, wins, losses, and draws. That's nearly 200 fights. The guy had experience here. He was fighting, and he was a beast. In terms of his
healthy. Have you seen him?
Yeah.
He's healthy, bro.
Huh? He's what?
What did you say?
Have you seen him?
Yeah, I've seen him. He looks good,
He
man.
looks good. He looks good.
It's good for his age. I saw a little clip with him when Ryan Garcia, and he was sharing some like little tips with his left hook with Ryan Garcia, and he looked good, man. He looks like sort of sharp, and looks like he'll beat the shit out of some of these fighters nowadays.
Yeah, they just swell up, isn't it?
Crazy, man. These guys are different.
Even then, I didn't mention it earlier, but it's also one of those things, like, Sugar Ray Leonard's style, right? It was one of those things that kind of set the foundation towards Ali's style as well. So I put him in there with the third, because a lot of that stuff, if I'm picking Ali as one of my top, something that contributed towards it and that Ali could take from it, why not? I put him up there, especially with the amount of fights he's had.
I'll tell you a little thingy, a little story about Roberto Duran. Yeah. Now, he by the time he fought, what's his name? Sugar Ray Leonard. He had, I think, like 70 odd wins, 71 or 72 wins. Yeah. He actually took on at the pinnacle of his career in 1980. It was called the Brawl in Montreal. at the Olympic Stadium, and he faced Sugar Ray Leonard, basically. He battered the former Olympic gold medalist over 15 rounds, and back then it was 15 rounds, not 12 rounds. Yeah, 15 rounds, and you could see them like getting tired and knackered and everything, but he battered, and he won, and he basically took that belt off the WBC welterweight championship off Sugar Ray Leonard, and he ended up having a rematch on November 25th, and that's almost in the same year, like not too far off. One happened in June, one happened in November. Rematch.
It's quick time,
That's unheard of. That's unheard of.
They used to have
All right, they had a rematch again on November 25th at the Superdome in New Orleans, and he got beaten in that match, and it was a bit controversial because one of the ring announcers, or the what do you call them on the side, Raz? I forgot. My mind's gone blank. Commentators, they heard him say no mas or something, and which means no more in English, and basically they stopped the fight and they gave it to I think as a technical KO because they thought he was saying no, but he but he retired in 2002 with a career record of 103 wins, 70 KOs, and 60 losses. But he had a third fight which he also lost. With Sugar Ray Leonard. It was like one of his greatest rivalries. But after that first loss to Roberto Duran, I guess that revenge was sweet for him.
Nah, it was great. It was good time. Then they look at how many fights these guys had back then, man. Crazy.
Even Tyson, people ducked him. People ducked Tyson. No ifs, no buts, they ducked him. But obviously later on in his career,
then I think it went wrong, innit? I think he was not. Once he lost that focus, that monster focus, then he lost that instinct, that killer, that edge he had over everybody. He lost it. He lost it.
When he lost it, he tried it one more time.
Yeah, so he wasn't the same, innit? But there was a short period where he was. Bloody hell, man, he was nuts. Like, everyone was scared to death of him before they even go in the ring. But hats off to them for getting in the ring, man.
Yeah, I know.
Bloody hell. They got in the ring.
They all started from nothing. They all started from nothing. Some of these great fighters, because I think it's a hunger that makes them get to those heights of greatness.
Yeah, but back then, I only had like TV and people used to come to watch them. Now these are sport. They got social media. They got too much pay-per-view money.
Promotional game.
They got money at the gates. They got promotion from Nike and whatever companies paying them.
They got food and
too
beverage.
Much money. They got everything. So they're not hungry like that.
Yeah.
They just they pick their moments now because it's like, well, I don't need to fight because I got paid bucks and I'll just wait for another one like that. But these guys, they were getting what they were getting. They're like, let's just fight. We're getting some millions. That's good. We're good.
They're getting peanuts compared to what they get now.
It's so easy to monetize with all these platforms now.
Yeah, that's it. Monetize.
Fight after fight to get the money.
I mean, look at Ryan Garcia, right? He's an Instagram star. He's really getting money without even fighting. He's rich from just that. You know what I mean? That's why he's not really that hungry, like, because he's being fed well from Instagram.
You've got followers. You can
got like 3 million followers for what? Do you know what I mean? That's crazy. Like he's getting all that money from it, promotions and all sorts, without even getting in the ring much.
But that's why the quality of fighters is going down, man. Look what's happening. You're getting all these YouTube debuts and everything. Now, people ain't going to go through the hard graft to become a quality fighter. It's just going to diminish.
Or they fight really late when they need each other now, and they've lost that track record of being the elites now, the top dogs, and they lost the status. Now they need each other. Now they're gonna fight. That's what they do. They kind of save each other now for later, but then nobody cares. It's like, well, that's done and dusted now. It's too late. Like Manny Paquiao and Mayweather, they should have fought before. When they fought, they should have fought like 6-7 years ago.
In their prime.
But always something happened. Money. Mayweather wants like this much, and you know, quite rightfully, Pacquiao's should ask for more money. He's trying to pay him a flat fee. And, you know, Pacquiao at the time was the second highest paid boxer, so he needs to get a bigger cut than just a flat fee. You can't do him over like that. The money's massive because of Manny as well, not just you.
Yeah.
But you know, that went on for years and years and years, and then they finally started fighting. But then it's too late. You know, it lost a lot of the excitement, because when he should have fought Manny is when Manny was knocking out everybody. This guy comes from 140 pounds to 147 pounds, and then you're thinking, he's not gonna have that power anymore. He's not gonna be.
Oh, he did.
And yes, he did. He was knocking out everybody. And you know, that's when it was like, wow, this guy's different. That's when you should have fought him. Should have been like, right, you come to my division, I'm gonna spank you. You know,
when he fought Ricky Hatton.
Yeah, that was that. You know what? I was to be honest, that fight infuriated me because that referee, I can't stand him, Cortez. I'm glad he retired, because Hatton was fighting two people that night. He was fighting Mayweather and the referee, because the referee, if you watch it, the whole fight until it got stopped he was just in the way of Hatton, and it's constantly turning Hatton off, because Hatton's an inside fighter, so he won't let him fight on the inside. As soon as Hatton got next to him, getting him in, you know, trying to get inside, wait, break it up. You know, it just it became a shit fight in the end. Even though Hatton was still doing all right, but yeah, he just couldn't get going because that referee had played a big part in that.
He was a good fighter as well, man.
Yeah, Hatton was a good fighter too, man.
But tell us about Miguel Cotto, man.
Yeah, Miguel Cotto, man. I don't know if people will probably not agree, but for me, like personally, his style was what I loved. Like when I first saw him and he was upcoming, I was like, "Rah, this guy looks wicked." Like his skill level, the aura about him, confidence, his style of fighting is quite come forward when he was younger. It was really aggressive, with skill as well. So it kind of reminded me a bit of Tyson's style, but with a little bit more boxing involved, like slick boxing. So he could switch it up.
Pitbull.
Yeah, it was like, and it was his body punching that got my attention, and his left hook. As I was like, wow, I was in awe with his left hooks. Just loved him, and then that's when I was like, wow, I'm gonna, this guy, I like him. I kept an eye on him. And yeah, and I just saw him get better and better and fight, taking out people left, right, and center. And every fight he's been in, it's always been exciting. Always exciting fights. I've never seen him in a boring fight. Because he's one of them fan-friendly fighters. He goes out there to really put it on the line, and really like go for it. He takes a risk, He's not afraid for having a gun battle, He'll just he's like Mexican style, isn't it? Just he's gonna all go all guns blazing. But yeah, he was doing so well. You could just see the confidence in him until he fought this guy named Margarito.
Antonio Margarito.
Antonio Margarito is a tall Mexican guy.
You heard about this, Habib, yeah?
No.
Basically, he fought him.
I found listening intently.
What year was it? I think it was 2008. I can't remember. It was a long time ago. But yeah, what happened is this guy Margarito. One thing you have to give him is he's got a chin. He's got a chin like no other. Yeah. This guy, like, you can be a power puncher and one of the strongest punchers. Which Cotto was a big puncher, and he would just take it. He will take it. And he's like a tank. He just keeps coming. He's tall, but he's not very powerful. He's just very busy and very, very like come forward, even though he's really tall. And he will just keep coming forward.
What weight division? What weight division?
147 it was, I think. Yeah, 147.
Yeah, 147.
So he just kept coming. He would just keep coming. He's one of them fighters. But like Cotto in the fight, the first one, he was outboxing him. Like he was just doing a lot of combinations, catching him off, moving. Kind of had to do that because this guy was, like I said, he's got a chin. So you have to be a bit smart. He just can keep coming forwards. And he's not a very strong puncher though. He's just velocity is more his thing. And then I think it was like 9th, 10th round, Cotto started tiring a little bit because of the work rate. Yeah, so Margarito caught him with a couple uppercuts. So his face was swollen up so bad, and you ain't never seen him like that before. So you just knew what. When I watched it, I was even like shocked. I was in disbelief. I was like, nah, this is bullshit. This can't be right. Like this is Cotto, man. He's like invincible. You don't want to believe it. You're like, what? And he even took a knee, I think, on the 11th round, and I think his uncle, Evangelista Cotto, I think it was, he threw in the towel anyway. He's like, no, that's it. And you just see Cotto looking at him, just shaking his head, like, just don't know what happened. And you see Margarito raise his hands after he took the gloves off, and you see this red dye here, like there, on one of his gloves, and he's raising his hands and stuff. Obviously, he's ecstatic. He beat Cotto, and he's beat one of the top fighters ever at the time. And then Cotto was like kind of quiet then. He's trying to recover and everything. So he's gone missing for a little while, but you knew it just ruined him. And then then Margarito, the next opponent was Sugar Shane Mosley, who was another, top fighter. And Cotto had beaten Sugar Shane Mosley already. It was a close fight sort of thing, but he took it. But Sugar Shane Mosley was, then he was a really good fighter. Obviously, as he got older, he declined, but he was always
Sugar Shane Mosley
was
a sick fighter.
He was a sick fighter, but he fought. So he was fighting Sugar Shane Mosley, and then in the locker room when it was time to get the wraps on, Sugar Shane Mosley's trainer Nazim Richardson, he's like watching him wrap the hands, and he waited till it's all wrapped, and then he went up to him and goes, "Let me see," and he started touching it, and it was like solid. So he was like, "What?" He goes, "Wait, why is that so hard for?" And then he just called the commission. He goes, "Come here, have a look at his wraps." And then you see you hear that Margarito's team are panicking a little bit, and they're like, "No, this is how it's supposed to be." They're trying to, just brush it off. But the commissioner's like, "No, let's have a look." And then obviously they found it. It was just like it's called plaster of Paris or something, and it's just solid, like hard as concrete, basically.
Yeah, it's what they use on casts. Plaster of Paris.
Yeah, that's it. So that's what he had on the wraps, which he was gonna. The gloves obviously gonna go over it. And then it turned out he was using the same wraps he used for Cotto. The same area the dye was when he raised his hand that day and won. When they took pictures of it, it was the same place. So he was just using the same one again, rather than doing a new plaster of Paris wrap. And then obviously Nazim Richards, they couldn't cancel it. It's such a big fight. It's all pay-per-view, everything. And then so they let the fight go ahead. And then he got banned 1 year, just 1 year for that. And then Sugar Shane Mosley, obviously his team told him this guy was gonna cheat. He was gonna do you over. Yeah. And then Margaret, remember I said he's got a chin, never been knocked out before. Well, that night he got knocked that out.
Yeah.
Sugar Shane Mosley made sure of it. He sparked him out badly, and then that was the end of that. And then obviously Cotto started making his way back to the scene, start rebuilding himself, but he was never the same. He lost that killer instinct he had. Like Tyson had that killer instinct, and you saw it missing suddenly when derailed a bit. So that happened to him. That fight took something away from him. He was still a great fighter, but there was something missing. But the good thing was he had a rematch with Margarito, and he ended up retiring Margarito on the 10th round for good.
Yeah, for good. Yeah.
Because Paquiao fought Margarito, and he busted his one of his eye sockets pretty bad, and so Cotto, he even said it in a press conference, like a face-off with Margarito and interviews and stuff. He said, "Watch what I do to him. I know he's got this problem because of Paquiao, what he did to him." He goes, "I am gonna attack that eye." like no man's business, and he did.
Payback.
He
did
attacked
payback.
it so much, even with jabs. He just kept, even with simple jabs, he just made sure he hit that same spot over and over and over again, to the point where the ref on the 10th round, like, it was so badly swollen up. The ref said, "Nah, you can't fight no more." And then that was it.
Proper
It was bad, and he was retired. Like, so Cotto got his revenge in the end, which is good. Like, I was well happy, because that piece of shit should have never really fight ever again. But yeah, that was it. That was the end of him. But Cotto, that's my take. Like, I like his style, his skill, and, the way he come back from that as well. I know he fought. He lost to Paquiao and Mayweather, two of the greatest, like, at the time. But I feel like he fought them. Like, when he fought Paquiao, he fought at a catch weight, 145 pounds, which is really hard for him to make, but he did it. So I think he wasn't 100%, but nothing. You can't take nothing away with Paquiao. He's a monster. Paquiao was on fire then, so I don't think it mattered. Even if Cotto was at 147, comfortably. And with Mayweather, I just thought he fought Mayweather a bit late, even though he did smash it. Like, he gave Mayweather hell. But Mayweather's always going to win because it's Mayweather, innit? He just out skills, out points.
Defensive, yeah.
You can't break his shell, then and he's so crafty, man. Mayweather, no matter what anyone says, his skills is just nuts. He's very slick, hard to hit.
Yeah, he's been smart fighting the people at the right time, at the wrong time.
He's a businessman. He's a businessman. So he was a fighter. If you see his young days, that's the Mayweather I liked. Aggressive, man, like really aggressive. Like he was similar. He was just out to perform and take the man out if you can. But I think once he got to a certain status, he was like changed into like more businessman like fighter. Need to be smart, make sure I don't ever lose. Just talk shit all the time and make my money, and that's it. But yeah, that's it, man. That's my take. That's, for my top three. So just to recap, my three: Mike Tyson, Manny Pacquiao, and Miguel Cotto.
For me, still Muhammad Ali, the Tyson, and Sugar Ray. What about you, Joe?
And my top three are Roberto Duran, Mike Tyson, and obviously Manny Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao, yeah. We all love Manny Pacquiao.
Jokes. All three of us got Tyson on the list. But we can't.
But Tyson is a monster. We all like a monster, don't we?
His fights were just mesmerizing. I think we all grew up watching him. Yeah, we all grew up watching.
It's like when you if you ever were lucky enough to like pay for it and watch it, you couldn't go and get yourself a drink because like you'd be like you be with your family. Let's watch Tyson.
It's over.
Get a drink. And then all you hear is 5-0.
5 punches, man.
Why did I go get this drink, man? I missed it all.
Yeah. That's actually happened. Yeah. I don't know why I left the room, but I came back and the fight was over.
Yeah, literally. Okay. I remember my brother one fight. He had about 12 people around, and I was young then, and I was like, "Wow, this is a proper get together to watch a boxing match," and they all got food and all exciting, buzzing, and I think it lasted about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And then next minute they were like, "Oh yeah, all right, I'll catch you a lot later," and they were just leaving. It was jokes, but it's still exciting. You still want to watch him, innit? Still want to watch what's gonna happen, how he's gonna destroy people.
Even when I watch some of the old stuff, like when I'm watching all of these old fighters, and compared to the new fighters, it's not the same. There's something about the old school ones.
Boxing is losing its charm a bit. If I'm honest, losing its charm. When Floyd Mayweather, Manny, and Cotto retired, those three in particular for me is when I saw a big decline in boxing after that. Like it was like they were the last three that were keeping the excitement for me. And then I love like the new fight, like Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, Canelo. Canelo was holding out. Canelo, to be honest, kept it going for me. The excitement, like to want to watch. Carry on watching as well. And of course, Loma's like one of my this era is one of my favorites, Loma, and Usyk, of course. Like these lot, man. Loma's another beast altogether, man. But his amateur record is nuts, man. He's got 496 wins and 1 loss, amateur record. That is nuts. But yeah, he's come on the scene, and yeah, he's another one. He's one of my current favorites to watch. His skills are crazy, just like a magician in the ring. But yeah, but they're not fighting each other, man. There's no big fights. That's the trouble. There's so many fighters in these categories, and they're not fighting each other.
In the last 3 years, we've had COVID and then the financial crash and everything. So
Yeah, but what's the excuse now?
Imagine what's happening. And the
we ain't had COVID.
Ukraine
COVID ain't been under a problem for a year now with the.
No, but we've had the Ukraine war too as well.
Yeah.
So look,
give it a 3 years.
there's Lomachenko, Usyk in the thing.
Yeah,
there's
but
only so much.
Loma fought the other day, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. So Usyk fought Joshua even through all this. I don't think it's an excuse. Like they can still fight who they want to fight. I think
it's a different type of era now, man.
It's just too. Promoters just run the show too much.
Yeah.
They're ruining, I think. All the money, and we need to make as much money as possible. It's got to be the right time. And look at Wilder now. Like AJ and Wilder should have fought ages ago. Now Wilder's team have reached out and said, "Let's make this fight happen next." He don't want to fight Wilder and Joshua. So Wilder's
Why
team
doesn't he want to fight Ruiz anymore?
No, he said, "I want to fight Joshua now next." So he wants to.
Ruiz. I thought they're gonna fight Ruiz.
Well, he's ordered to fight him next, but if the money's right. He said, I want to bypass him and go straight to Joshua. I want to fight Joshua next. Because now he knows. Like, his status is not the same as it once was. He's not champ no more. So now I need you, Joshua.
Come this
now let's fight. But when these guys were both at the top, they didn't fight.
It's all become a business. It's all money grabbing.
Again, now the excitement isn't the same because Fury's spanked you already, like really 3 times. I mean, he got robbed of a draw the first time, but the second one was annihilation. The third one you did better, but he still annihilated you at the end anyway.
It was disgusting.
And now you want Joshua because Joshua lost twice to Usyk, so he's in the down and out as well. So yeah, it's just it's not the same.
Now. You can see he's gone.
Yeah, he's not mentally there. He's took it pretty badly, the loss with Joshua. So he's not the same at the moment.
One of the greatest fighters, like this is why I always talk to my brother about, because we're always training, right? And we said you need to have a few screws loose to be an ultimate fighter. Like
you have to be quite arrogant. With the confidence,
you have to feel you're invincible and go in there. There is no opponent. It's all in the head, and if you lose it,
but that's why you got to give it to Mayweather because that is him.
Yeah,
he's in his mind. He's the greatest. That's why he calls himself TBE.
Yeah,
the best ever. He's got label TBE. Everything he wears TBE. He's
you know what?
His mentality.
In a way, I gotta disagree.
Only problem
because Usyk, Usyk. He's one of the nicest boxers you're ever going to come across. Same with Lomachenko. So one of the nicest boxers you're ever going to come across. These two guys, I've never seen anybody as nice as them two.
And of course, there's going to be nice champions too, but at the same time...
Even Manny Paquiao.
But they know how to switch it on and off.
No, but the thing, do you know what, though? Like, you got to remember, like, I'm nice, right? I'm gentle when I'm out there. But
are you?
Yeah, I hope so. I think I am. But like, if I need to switch it on, I switch it on. Like it's one of those things. And if you're gonna train, you're gonna train. And people like they see me and they think, what you do MMA and you do this and that. You can be nice, but you can also sit there and think, I'm gonna smash you. There is no one. You can still have
quietly confident, innit? You gotta be quietly confident.
Quietly confident.
Yeah.
There's 2 types. There's brazen, brash confidence, like Mayweather. He'll tell you in your face, I'm TBE, you ain't shit. Like you can't touch me. You know, he'll say it to your face, but then you got to like, you say Usyk and Loma, they're quietly confident. They'll talk a little bit, but they believe in themselves so much.
Yeah.
They know their training is going to take them to where they want to be. They don't need to talk much. They're just quietly confident. Yeah, so there's two types, but you have to have that in you still.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they obviously inside, they believe they're the best. This is why they do what they do. They're just not outspoken like Mayweather. You know, and then we had Adrian Broner who thought it was Mayweather once, didn't he? And he found out the hard way. He found out the hard way. Found out the hard way he wasn't. That was funny.
Don't go soft, man. That's what it is.
Huh?
That's the lesson learned. Don't get soft.
Don't get soft.
Yeah. Nah, do you know?
Yeah.
It's peaks are peaks, isn't it? You're gonna always go down.
But yeah, good top three from you guys. So let's leave it there. So once again, thank you for joining us, guys, for Fight Channel. Stick around for the next episode. I'm Raz, so good to see you.
I'm Dil. Thank you for joining us.
And I'm Habib. As always, we're really glad that you could join us today. Hit that like, subscribe button and notification bell so you can see all of our future episodes. We're really glad you could hear all of our opinions on our top 3 fighters. See you next episode. Ciao.
Ciao.
Peace.